everybody. We are the SequencerTalk from Germany, and we are live at Superbooth, recording a little show with these guys. Please introduce yourself. You're Manu from Befaco. That's right?
I am. He's Thomas from Sour Electronics, Rika from Making Sound Machines, and we are here to talk about Behringer clones.
Yeah.
No.
Model D clones. Under 300 euro. Yeah, let's maybe first you are into modules, all into modules. So who doesn't know these guys? They are into modules, and you may know the Stolper beats from Making Sound Machines. You may know the nerd sequencer from XOR means exclusive or, which is a digital thing. How do you pronounce that normally?
I think XOR. I don't know.
XOR.
I don't know myself. So it's like XOR.
Okay, let's
But I say XOR.
yeah, okay. Should be. And you of
More important is, do you say nerdsec or nerdsec?
Nerdsec.
I don't know either. And when you have two nerdsec, what is then?
Nerdsec.
It took me a year to. So
No, what you did.
they don't have
That's why I mostly started to go to nerdsec because it's like.
I don't. It's not really realistic that nerds have sex, so it's impossible.
Don't say that.
But
Don't tell all the people here, yeah. So
yeah, and Manu, of course, is well known for his modules.
Mastermind of Befaco.
Okay.
So it's not because you're here to you're all here to introduce something new, which is a collaboration. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Should we show it first? Or?
Yeah.
Let's try it. There's the camera and there's the camera. So
This is the thing.
now it's like.
And yes, it has a Game Boy card inside.
There's electronics inside, and you can plug it into the module, which is basically a module.
Yeah, so it's a Eurorack module. It's I like to call it a vessel. It's just the front end.
Just a shell.
Yeah, it's a shell. It's all the electronics needed to have some control, a dry wet control, and a 4-band EQ, voltage control, audio in, out, the CV in and outs. And the beauty is that the core of the module, the effects the circuitry are built into a Game Boy card. And why not?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Well, of course there are strong opinions like Game Boy cards are sexy and we all have an age.
Sexier than nerds are.
Yeah,
we all on age, yeah.
Yeah. So you know. If when you are at certain age, you knew.
Funny enough, I recently bought a retro handheld to emulate all the old stuff like Super Nintendo, Amiga, and PlayStation 1. So it's a thing nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's cool to have this technique in a module, and it's a collaboration. Yay!
Yeah. I will say it's an escalation of a crazy idea. No, when you start to get crazy and it seems that it cannot get more crazy, it actually gets more crazy. So because the choosing of this, it was a why not? It will be cool. And then the next thing is it's like it will be cool if other manufacturers will be actually doing a card. And I don't know, in events we started talking about it, and there were a big bunch of nice people that actually said yes.
That's completely right.
Which I think it's the craziest thing. Thank you.
There's one thing I need to add, because I was really really reminding when this guy came to me first, showing the prototype of the nerd sequencer. He had some cards with it where the sound engines were exactly on one card, and you can use multiple cards to have one synth with multiple chips.
Yeah, maybe
And also from other manufacturers, at least the actually synthesis.
Yeah, maybe you can tell them how I
But
approach
we
you.
got- yeah, of course.
How did I approach you?
Yeah, exactly. because the thing is, like, he was talking with Jan Willem from Ginkgo Synthese about it, and he said, "Yeah, but Thomas has also the cartridge thing. I think that's that story. No, you look longer, and you should talk with him." And I didn't know that he was busy with that, and then.
I got concerned because it's like a good friend tells that a good friend it was already working on something similar. It was like no. I need to talk to Thomas and ask him. Hey, we are thinking about doing this. Do you mind? It was like dude. Oh fuck.
And it was all fine. I'm happy because that's what I did. Didn't make it to a product yet. Will be at some point, but it's not. Some things are more important than other things when you're busy with stuff. And but then this hooked me, and I asked, "How would you do? Would you like to do something?" I said, "No, I don't have time. I don't have time. I'm so totally busy with my stuff. But I feel it in my fingers. I have to do some. I want to do it, but I don't have time." And then some weeks later, I said, "Like, give me all the information, and maybe I will do it, maybe not." And then in the end, I did something. So it's that's the nice part. It's
Sorry for the music behind us. So we are on the show right now. So
Well,
This is the techno mix of SequencerTalk.
Superbooth vibes.
yeah, it's actually nice because we have a little bit background music, what we normally don't do. So it's not a project of you three. It's a project of many more people.
Yeah, we are missing here. Well, we have a Wells Coarn. We have feedback modules, and we have Tesseract modules as well. So these three other persons should be here, but yeah, Superbooth is a busy.
Dave, but you thought it would be tomorrow. Everyone thought it would be tomorrow, and then no, I think it was today. I don't know, check.
Yeah, it's crazy, when it's only the first day of the event and we are already going cuckoo.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
Blues.
It's actually our own first time to do this here live, so it's a little bit tricky to say at least, but
It's brave.
yes, but we are known for a little bit ridiculous actions. So we did this birthday raffle, and this thing completely exploded, and you participated with two great prizes. Actually, with the freestylophone, stylo module,
Some freestylos and a nutsack, yeah.
and a nutsack. Yeah, that was really great. So tell us a little bit more about the module. What is it actually? It's a effects processor for high quality stuff, or it's more gritty and low-fi?
Always high quality stuff.
The quality is high, but it's more on the retro side.
Yeah.
Or?
So if you want, what I can do is I can tell you a little bit more about the module itself, and maybe we can go ahead and explain a little bit what kind of cards we did. So yes, I was saying before it's a vessel. So I think that the nicest thing is the 4-band EQ, which is CB controlled, which has a downside that it colors the signal a bit. But come on, it's an effect. So yeah. And as a funny story, the beginning of this module, it was kind of last. Some of us really love the Metal Zone guitar pedal. We started making noise shows with a lot of Metal Zones. which is fantastic because of the EQ, but it's terrible because of the distortion. So the idea was to do a multi-distortion module, like let's do a proper distortion module with the EQ, and it evolved. It has dedicated filters for the EQ, dedicated VCA for the dry wet. It's a big. I will say that it will be a copy paste of building blocks that we already have. I will be lying because, for example, the CV control EQ we did it before, so it's new. But yeah, it's been a nice thing to allow people to actually drink, and it's been amazing because in our head it was a multi distortion module, but then opening up with other people's and having the input of other ideas, other ways of doing things that we will not do ever. Well, maybe a way folder, yes.
So let's get real and tell us what's actually on these cards and what they really do.
Okay, Enrica.
Yeah. Now it's your
Okay,
turn.
so our card is a wave folder. And actually, Manu asked us when we went to Barcelona, your modular fest. And we visited your workshop, and you were like, we're building this thing. Do you want to be part of it? And we said, yes, of course, because it's a really great idea. We were in the process of building our FARP filter modules. And so we took one of them, the FARP folder, and tweaked it a little to go on the cartridge. And the one thing we added is LEDs that show you the CV levels. I think that's the thing that no other cartridge builder did.
In fact, exactly. In fact, I'm gonna take the opportunity that I have these two persons here. We like the idea so much, and it makes so much sense.
Every cartridge.
Has to be in every single card, because when you get the card in and then the LED, the LED is telling you, I'm working fine.
This is like the beep beep when you turn on the Game Boy.
Exactly.
The effect of it. Yeah.
Well, the bling and the Nintendo logo. So if you didn't hear the sound or the Nintendo logo is glitchy, something wrong is going on.
Exactly. Battery is dying.
Yeah, but actually, it's really funny because the LED thing was kind of the first thing that came to our minds when you told us, it will be see-through cartridges. And then it was like, we need to have LEDs. So, yeah.
So it's the technology that you have, and you may share for these guys for a little something then. Or will you really, like Thomas says, that's
Maybe
you will reintroduce them, or is it already done like they are now?
We will tweak them a little, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's what. Yeah.
I'm looking at you.
okay.
So, yeah.
It's also like at a 95% stage, I would say. Like there can be still little changes in the cards.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility that all the cards will have LEDs. That's I guess
I will
what
say
it would be.
that the idea. We all manufacturers have these ideas. We are gonna come to Superbooth or to this event, and we are gonna be well prepared, and we are gonna be presenting a product that is finished, it's already on boxes, and people are gonna be able to buy them straight away.
When will it be ready for everyone?
Not in Superbooth.
I have to say the nice thing about it is that no one knew what the other one is doing. So there are
really?
analog effects, and I have a digital effect, for example. So it's like everyone is doing something else, and we didn't knew from each other.
So what
I did knew.
Yeah, you knew, of course, but
and if someone was thinking about doing an effect that someone was already doing, it was like maybe not. Someone is already doing that. Or some people I told what was going on without specifying who. But if you say aggressive feedback loaded food card, you know who is gonna be doing it. That's obvious. But in general terms, I wasn't. There was a we have been speaking with a lot of people to do more cards, but not everybody was willing or had the time or the energy to do this. There was a Look Magno Computer wanted to do one. He said he wanted to do a bit crusher, but we already have a bit crusher. So then he said he was gonna do something different, and then he got mega busy.
And everything was vanished.
Yeah.
This is normal. If you look closely, if we try to work with other guys, it's sometimes it's not easy to do a collaboration. That's the reason why we invited you, because this is a really, really cool project. And SequencerTalk is all about connecting people and connecting the developers to the people outside and give them the face behind the product. And that's the reason why we do this in one term. But
Wow.
yeah, okay.
Right? Yeah, because the fly is in my eye, it's the best sign to have the next module explained, because there's more than one.
Do we have
You
your?
didn't bring my module.
No,
Let-
we
let-
did not.
Let's pretend this
Let's
will
pretend
be my module.
exactly.
Yeah.
Look,
Put
my
it like this.
nice module. Yeah, I didn't bring mine, and you would. Oh, so I made the FX girl, not the FX boy, but the FX girl.
Okay.
And
The FX twin.
I had that idea actually. Oh no, not my idea actually, but someone said, "Hey, why should because it's two effects. You can choose between two effects with each cartridge, and then it would be FX twin, of course,
With
not done.
Which?
So I have to say I'm not. I did a digital thing. There's like a microcontroller with a DSP engine, and I never did DSP programming. So that's a thing. That's really a thing. Like I did some stuff, but I'm not a DSP programmer developer. So, but I thought like it would be cool to have like not like the other ones, which I expected would be analog things. And so I did that, and then I have one delay effect, which is I don't know, bits old school delay kind of thing.
Old school means tape-like or string-like?
Oh no, it's quite simple, but in sound it gets from flanger to not really, because there's not a lot of memory, so there's not a lot of not long delay. So it's kind of
it's
short
nice to
thing.
work with limitations. And like, okay, what
it
can I
is,
do with this?
And the other effect is kind of a granular effect. So I have like up to 10 different sampling and resampling.
So you have to choose from this card somewhere, and actually the controls are on the module itself.
Yes, there's an AB knob for the effect, and then you have like two controls for your parameters.
That's how it works.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And with the granular effect, I have like the length of the of the buffer and the amount of buffers, and every buffer plays in a different cycle, speed cycle, and then it gets like
So that means for everyone with yours, these knobs change the delay and its sound. And your module does something else, like folding, wave folding and stuff. And yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, right.
that's clear.
It doesn't do like a totally different thing, but the ranges get a little different, and you can feed audio in one CV input. When you
So CV doesn't have to be CVs. It can be audio. It can actually anything, any kind of control.
It's for audio.
Yeah.
Or what do you mean?
Yeah.
There are CV inputs to have like, instead of the knobs, to have the control.
The question is, no matter which card you are using, these could be audio inputs or control voltage inputs. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It
you can
depends
control CV at audio rates.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's both. Actually.
Yeah, the thing is that all the CV conditioning circuitry is it's analog. It's so you don't have any frequency constraint. No, it's like, for example, his engine, it's digital, but it's digital. The sound processing is digital, but all the CV mangling, it's done externally.
Mhm.
So you can do audio. You can do audio rates.
I can go high at least.
You can go
like,
high.
Yeah, I can go high.
Ah.
Like
Sorry.
audio with audio.
Yeah.
High audio.
Took
Sorry,
it
sorry,
took a while.
sorry.
Took a while, but, no, I didn't test it actually, so I have to do that. So it's it
You
didn't-
could
it
you
didn't-
could
it
lie.
didn't
You could
go to
lie
the-
and say, yeah,
It didn't go to the stress test really yet because it's of course something just before Superbooth and there's
yeah.
a lot
We
of
we
stuff to
we
do.
have
But then
big plans and we say no, everything is gonna be ready.
yeah,
No.
The usual thing that we hear the whole day along. So yes, it's mainly perfect and ready, but not almost.
Keep in mind that in designing in designing models there is also this artistical way. No, we also have our own
Yeah.
little heart. It's like an album. It's never finished. It's like stop it.
Yeah.
The mix is perfect. No, but I could change it. You know, you know,
Exactly.
musicians, we are the same. No, but we could. I know. Let me. It's never finished. It's never finished. Someone needs to come to you. Leave it. Leave it. It's good enough. It's good
It's
enough.
okay.
It's good enough. It's good enough.
Yeah.
So
Oh, and,
yeah.
and it's good. It's not only good enough, it's good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's. I have to talk about the form factor, which is really the one thing. It's not only cartridge. No, it's really a Game Boy cartridge. In the case, a transparent one. It even says game on it. So
We don't got
maybe
we don't
maybe
gonna
not.
get into trouble with any big corporation that
Yeah.
wants to defend their property.
But
And
the cartridges look a little bit thinner, I think. Oh,
They are not really like the case.
Remind us.
You could put in a Game Boy game in this case, but now the question: what will happen if you put a Game Boy game in here and the other way around?
You will fry the thing. The only thing that I was checking is what's connected in the Game Boy card on the pins where we are using power.
Power, yeah.
Okay.
And considering that Game Boy it's a 3.3 volts device, the ICs, the inputs, and the voltage are gonna be always 3.3. So if you connect it and then you have the CB and the CB has a 10 volts range, most likely you are gonna fry your.
The thing is, all the games you never liked in the past, you can put
Then
in
you can
there,
fry.
and maybe it will smoke either.
blow it
So
out,
it's-
Anyway, kids, don't try this at home.
Don't try it so long. Yes.
Yeah, great.
Oh, and it's
Yeah.
funny, like if we talk more about the hardware, it's like it's well designed. Like all the signals from Eurorack, it's like all the voltages are already done. There are op amps and VCAs that you can use from the cartridge, so you don't have to put all these designs on the cartridge, but you can just use the op amps from the main module. So you have more space because there's not a lot of space.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of space on the cartridges, and so you can just use like some standard components that you would use for your design.
Yeah.
You can use them, and I make use of them. So it's that's quite fine.
Buy one of these cards. Will it be at one shop, or they have to go to your shop and to your shop and to your shop? Then?
Good question.
Or
Good
yeah.
question. So we had like this internal conversation, the Befaco Thunderdome, where we discussed important things. It doesn't make sense that someone will be selling at our point of view, the cards because I mean we are Befaco, we are not Arturia or Behringer, or we are not gonna be. We are gonna be selling a few hundred of modules with good luck. So if you have like 300 modules out there, let's say, hopefully, how many people are gonna be buying the cards? Half of them.
1 million.
And which cards?
And which
they-
cards?
like, oh, yeah, this-
So maybe you are telling someone, hey, try to make a card and wish for the best. So what we decided that what it makes sense is that the module is shipping with all the cards,
not one, not two, no, all of the
all of them. 6. So the module is coming with the 6 cards.
With the first 6, if you decide to do more in the future, would it be possible? Yes.
Some people
it's
over
possible.
here already said, let's do an expansion pack.
Then it will be exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like really old school. Expansion pack and
Yeah, and you will include this, right? The
Yeah.
strip board,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
can build their own cards, basically.
That's a very important thing because it's a DIY module. If I get it right, is
Yeah.
it? Is it?
But it's
you
gonna
can
be
build it
both
on your own?
DIY and assembled.
Okay, both.
Yeah, but it's gonna have the thing is that in the process of documenting the card in order to pass them the info, it was like, okay, yeah,
Okay,
but the info is already here, so maybe we can do something that someone maybe on the future can make their own. So what we came out was with this card, which is a strip board.
Hmm.
And it has it's documented what you have in each pin, and then we will be having a few examples on how to do your own effects.
What happens if some company that is well known for building cheap
which company
stuff?
are you talking about?
Some company somewhere may be interested and make it. What will happen then? Or is it really free, or is it something
think
to not everyone but most of them? So
I
to
think
say.
that this model will be released as Befaco does. This is something we haven't discussed yet.
Yeah,
Licensing. Normally,
Yeah.
Befaco models are released as Creative Commons share alike non-commercial, meaning that of course you can make it a use of them, and then you can build your own version, and then you can rebuild them. But if you want to do business with it, you are going to be selling
it
them.
happened. It happened. So
We need to
Yeah.
talk about it.
yeah,
But anyway, if some big company with the resources and an army of ninja lawyers wants to copy something, they are gonna copy something, and you need to shut up. This is unfortunately how this world works. Even if there are licenses and lawyers out there, but if someone has more lawyers than you,
Yeah, they fry you completely.
but anyway,
Yeah.
I don't think it's like saying no that a clone of your thing is gonna pop up in AliExpress. It's like really? I mean, really? Are someone gonna be interested in copying our module based on Game Boy cards?
And it's-
Okay.
It's already
you never know.
so damn
Yeah,
nerdy.
you know, you never
Yeah.
know, no? But
It happened, and no one. I did not expect it when
no. But
took
I mean,
place.
the big companies are copying like big hits or stuff that they assume that they are gonna be selling galore. So if someone thinks that this is worth copying, it in a way it will be flattering. In a way,
How
yes.
to be copied is a really rude
honor.
thing, but it's in another way an honor. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. But I'm trying to
depends-
make fun of the situation just to
yeah.
diffuse the situation. It's not
strange,
fun. It's not fun when you are working and someone it's playing with you.
So you heard it. It's not fun. Ask. Ask somebody who is behind there. Not somebody. Ask these guys, and then you may be in.
Yeah, but you never know that you are putting a very extreme example.
Yeah, of course.
But it might be that
Yeah.
that these people like it and someone wants to do a pedal. A pedal with
this
I think
idea.
that someone already made instruments with Game Boy cards for filters. But if someone will be willing to do a guitar pedal that use this cards and someone wants to design cards, we haven't invented the wheel. This is not like we are owners of
I know what you mean.
form factor. It's like, I don't know. It's like,
And I also have to say regarding this, I think in this, now I don't want to say scene or world or like, I ask people if I want to do something with the cartridges I made for the first nerd synth things. I asked the people if it's cool if I would use their designs. I was going to Peter Kern if I could have the meblip code, even if it's open source and stuff, if he thinks it's cool to do. I thought with
just a nice thing to do.
it's a gentleman way.
It's just fair.
with the
It's just fair.
Megatron to ask if he's cool with that, even if it's open source, and it's
But it's not.
that's
not
what I
nice
think
to-
is the way to do, and that's I think happens a lot also normally with this kind of stuff. And yeah, I would expect that it would happen, and I know of course it's not happening all the time, but I think we're the smaller ones between each other are respecting the stuff. I think that's what I
Yeah.
would say.
That's the impression. Yeah.
That's the cool thing about the Eurorack community. It becomes more and more crowded every year. Yes, some manufacturers vanish. Many new ones will come, but it's a common ground that exists, and I think this is a good thing. And especially when we see something like you do, so a collaboration is so rare in this regard.
Yeah, but I think the Eurorack community is really a community. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Many people know each other, and like each other. So it's cool that this is happening.
Yeah. I think that also the Eurorack, it's still niche enough and small enough for these kind of things to happen. If you see other parts, if you go to guitar pedals or guitars themselves or other sort of instruments where there is a wider public, maybe more consumerism oriented people will jump in because there is market. This is not
tried it.
happening that much, but we are seeing now with the Eurorack that some big companies are starting to mass produce stuff. So
yeah, many not many, but some big brands tried it and pulled the plug relatively short after it out, because they figured out, oh, this is actually a lot of work. It's not the biggest money behind, and the market isn't so big. There was a big fuss about 5-6 years ago, I think, and even Roland did some stuff.
I'm aware.
So
some stuff. But by the way, I would gladly buy now. So Roland, please bring the Mora back.
exactly, I had one. I got one from Manu,
Oh, no.
and I sold it.
I mean, it's. It was not popular. People were moaning that they were power hungry and they were super complicated and and they died. And they were actually
And
very
stopped
fine pieces of hardware.
Supporting it.
Yeah,
That's maybe.
Okay, this is Roland.
Yeah.
But the thing also with
doesn't
modular,
have to. It doesn't have to.
with standalone boxes and with modular, this is like totally different numbers.
Yeah.
That if you make a product for it, and Roland is going higher numbers, of course. It's a big company. They
It
have a
has
lot
to
of
be-
people to pay. They have to.
But they are not
they
so
have to
well
do
known
stuff
for
which-
being cheap. There's other companies
Yeah.
well known
of
for
course,
being
of course.
cheap.
Yeah.
And these when people buy new modules and they are the same as another module by an original
Okay,
creator.
let's face it that way. The money is lays down in the not really in the manufacturing. Mainly, it's the whole thing, coding it, developing it, this stuff, all the time that goes into a module, into a product. And if you just steal it or copy it, you don't have to do all the things behind.
No
And there's
engineering.
no real
Or not as
no
much
real
as-
engineering, and you don't have to get on the ideas. That's the biggest problem, I think,
No.
because you
Yeah, but then you are missing the fun.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different approach. It's at some point you might be facing this as a business entrepreneur, which I think that we all are trying to put some food on our plates because of this. This is our job, but we didn't came here because we were looking for a job. In fact, that I don't know what was your case, but in our case in Befaco, we just found ourselves having a job when we were having a hobby, which is quite a big responsibility. Suddenly, like, oops, I need to pay taxes.
Maybe I have to do this now mainly.
Yeah.
I don't have time for my real job anymore because
Yeah, but it's nice when you are approaching something as a hobby
and it becomes a job.
it becomes viable and doable, and it's even better and even more rewarding when you are doing it on a ethical way, when you have some how to say some ideals where you think that things can be done on a certain way that will make your surrounded a better place. And I'm not gonna get too hippie here, but it's kind of how it feels. Now you are doing things on a different way, and you feel comfortable on the environment because people around you are doing things on a different way. And then when you are making a living out of this, and you can say some people up your arse because you are able to make a living doing things on a elegant way, on an honest way, on a human way, it's very rewarding. So, and I think that all of us here have been working on a day job, on an office, on a big corporation. I did, and it sucked. So when when you manage to go through all this pain, because believe me, it's a fucking pain.
Some strips to
It is a fucking pain. But I know it's at least for me, it's quite rewarding. And that's it. I'm getting emotional.
Aw. So this is the first product in this category. Would be really funny to see something with other knobs, or would it be possible to say
Are different processing or as a series of modules that are
What a question.
A game.
A game, no?
Yeah.
Let's play a game. Yes and no, no and yes. So this is gonna. We have been doing this for fun, and we haven't been thinking this as a solid format. We received some feedback from the other manufacturers about little stupid things like, why don't you do some of the pads a little bit longer, so when it plugs in, so first power plugs and then data plugs, then you don't have pops. So like very stupid little constructive details that we were not taking consideration because we were just fooling around, honestly. So I will say yeah, but there are like pins with the CB and then the CB inverted, and I don't know. I will say that yes, but it will be interesting to see if in the future someone tries to do it, how they are gonna argue. Why did they did this? Why did they put a little of potentiometers more? Maybe. The short answer is yes. I do see a guitar pedal using this, for example.
You had a module called Lick or Lich.
The Lich, yeah.
And which that reminds a bit of something like that because you can you can build a community on it and work your own
and also
make your own
that was
DSP stuff.
another example of working with other manufacturers because this was a collaboration with Rebel. This is the Lich is not a Befaco module; it's a Befaco Rebel.
Yeah.
So what we did is again like this: we did a vessel, we did a a form factor, a module, a front panel, some basic electronics for the audio and CV, and then the magic is done by Rebel technology. So the whole platform is made and maintained by Rebel. So we did our part. Rebel did their part. So that and there is a community already out there building things. So that was another example like this, no, like working with other manufacturers, and getting to middle grounds. You cannot imagine how difficult it is to work with other engineers.
Yeah.
You know where I worked, and I'm not an engineer, but I
You work with a couple of them.
no, I work with a couple of them, yes, but I'm not an engineer. Oh God, no. But we talk every few weeks with someone who builds something, and it's so nice to see. But they have all something in common. A lot of things go in their minds around, and they have all crazy ideas in a box in their head. There are so many ideas. This is so cool to see.
Does
when
it
they
ring a
come
bell
out.
for you?
Just not enough time for all the ideas.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to make priorities with
Yeah.
that as well. Because if
Yeah.
if I would do everything which I wanted to do, yeah, then I wouldn't finish anything, of course, because everything is like half running.
Yeah.
And but then it's a thing, it's a lot of enthusiasm with engineers or people who are doing stuff. There's a result coming up. They have an idea. Oh, I want to try this and this, and yeah, it's a mindset, and then yeah.
Maybe let's put it that way. How long does it take to make or to really create a thing like Stolperbeats or Nerd Sequencer? How long does it take? 2 years or something, from nothing to the real module that is actually something to show.
Yeah, so Stolperbeats, it's a funny story. It lived first on like a Arduino dev kit platform, and we had code running that did functionally the same thing as Stolperbeats, and then we were like, that's really cool. It needs to get its own form, all the knobs we want, and so on. And then it was like around 1.5 years, 4 prototypes to get it right, and then the fun of manufacturing it began.
What's the time? What time did it took for all these steps?
So
Does it take?
yeah, the 1.5 years finding its form and so on was during Corona.
Yeah,
like
2 years.
2020.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
about 2 years then.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we showed it Superbooth last year, so 2022. Yeah.
Yeah. And about the nurse, yeah, I know a bit, but I think
it's also a bit different because I started with the handheld.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah, I've seen
something
that.
new out here
It's
with
a
handheld.
completely different thing, but it's.
I remember it was in 2013, and I was going to Frankfurt Musikmesse back then, and I was visiting you and had in my backpack this prototype, like, I can plug it in, and it's like a tracker interface. Oh, cool! And I actually had like I think 3 months until I had like this handheld thing with a working thing and 6 AT Megatrons as sound sources, and I was playing live with that, like 6 audio outs, like and a basic tracker
with these
interface.
cards.
Yeah,
I really like the idea. You can assign any card, and that's the voice.
because they
a real physical voice.
And the idea, because why I used the cards is I wanted to make my own synth engine, but until I got sound, I used other things, and that's why I had like this ones, and then it's like, oh yeah, oh cool, that should be cartridges, blah, blah, blah. And it goes But then it took until 2017 or 2016. I was in Brunn, with Basel, their event there, Noise Kitchen event. And I was going with this nerd synth there with the cartridges, and everyone had Eurorack, and I thought like, oh, why shouldn't I do Eurorack with it? And 1 year later, I was at Superbooth with prototype. So, but then since then I'm still developing on it. So it's a growing project. And it will stay a growing project because
Never ends.
Yeah. So many years, but then part time. I did this in evenings with a full-time job until 2017. So it's like
where is the switch between I quit my day job and I can do as many modules? Maybe that's the case with you. I don't know.
Is it your case?
No,
No.
I still have my real job. I'm doing it not full time, but part time. But all the evenings are blocked for making sound machines and weekends.
But maybe it changes with and with you, Manu.
My case was I was kindly asked to leave my job.
You're not.
Yeah. Okay.
But-
yeah.
but
Okay. Okay. That's the
Because
other
of
way
because of
around.
that or
No,
other reasons?
yeah. No, honestly, I had this idea in mind to quit my job when everything was a little bit more mature. I had this plan. Maybe in a year time, I could quit my job and get into electronics. But they quit me, and so it was a very nice like push. And yeah, but then it took me a couple of years, more or less, after that moment to actually. I had to find some like I was doing workshops here and there and teaching on schools and thing on the impasse. So it took 2-3 years to have my first 600 euros salary, which felt like a lot.
I think the first time when you can afford your own rental, I think it's a big step. I heard someone say the first time I could pay my own rent with it, and okay, maybe this could be something to consider. When I can pay my flat or something or my house, the monthly cost, maybe I can do all the things with this.
Yeah, so we are actually using our living room to do strawberries production.
So you can make a living.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah. So I think it's
Yeah.
really a big step to like get an office for production and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
Befaco started at
yeah.
Diego's place. Diego is one of our. So it started there at his place, and the first developments were done there in his living room, and the first kits and things were done there. Back then, his girlfriend was huge support and
Yeah.
allowing to have
The time.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy
to have always a couple of dudes or 3 dudes there doing stuff in the middle of the living room.
There's a commitment. If you do this, if you have a passion, something other will suffer from this, and sometimes it's the people around you.
No.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So or the job. But this is really cool. But you have a completely other thing going on right now. You have a new case.
I think that we came to talk about our.
Ha!
We have a thing that if we put together everything new that we got, like the 3 of us, and then the other manufacturer, we could be talking for an hour.
talk about your case.
Okay, come on, it's a case.
It's just because I know we will do or we can do a separate show again in our normal weekly show, and
Or maybe we can be super quick and just so we.
it's a case. Okay.
Yeah, so from Befaco perspective, the 2 coolest, sexiest thing that we are showing here, it's the case and the FX Boy. being the case, like our big project, like something that we are pushing forward and trying to make a statement, like from a professional, strong statement, and being FX Boy, the another kind of statement that something nice and cool and lovely, basically. Then we also have the molten modular 1U. We have the MIDI thing 2. We have a new power bus. We don't bring a brush or a new brush or a
a green one.
exactly. We have a brush that is green.
Really, kudos to you to say, okay, we use we take a hairdresser brush and then sell it for the synth guys. I really find it a cool idea.
It was another crazy idea. I think it's on a similar level. Like, let's do a module with Game Boy cards.
Yeah,
It's we love to give strong opinions, and at the end of the day, we are on the Befaco lab on the terrace having a couple of beers, and someone have a crazy idea. Most of the time it's Diego. Diego is having these crazy ideas, and then there is someone close by that says yes, yes, and then it's on.
Is it you that says yes, yes, or
No, not always. Not always. I'm a raving fan, but then I can be very critic as well. I can be a pain in the ass as well.
it's always good to have a really good critic on your side.
Yeah.
I am not loud enough.
Yeah, it's at the moment it's
I have
quite
headphones on, so
quite
it's
heavy to
so
listen
much
to.
better for me. So it's really good to have a good critic on your side, I think.
It is
So
indeed.
there walks a guy who absolutely loves to get a good critic. So, yeah.
And you guys
think-
are maybe you can also.
I think it's
You're bringing another expansion.
Everything.
You have another expansion for the NERSEC. The
No.
21st
No,
expansion.
no. I don't really have new stuff.
Not now. Okay.
No.
I think we got the point now. Do you want anything to say about the future of your companies in the near future? Anything to expect besides of the news now?
oh no?
I know that a lot of things are going on in that tent. I was visiting them
Oh,
on the
yeah.
tent with Stein from This Is Not Rocket Science. A lovely big bunch of nerds. So what's going on?
Yeah, so actually we are really good friends with Stein from This Not Rocket Science.
Yeah.
And he always pushes us to like he pushed us really to finish the stopper beats. And yeah, let's see what else comes out of this friendship. But yeah,
Yeah, I think that
let's see.
some credit needs to go to Stein. He's an unsung hero, I will say, of this scene as well. He's pushing people around.
You are all
to do
invited to come here or to come to our virtual place because we normally don't meet. We are people behind everything and get into or take place in the next of our episodes and maybe talk about your modules. You're all invited to come and
you.
be there. So in this sequencer talk.
So, a big thank you
Yeah.
that you took your time and have a
Thank-
great super booth.
Thank
It's
you for
already
having
the
us.
First day, so
And we are already destroyed.
Yeah,
Wait for Sunday.
we are
this some-
we are distorted. Yes.
Is there some word you can say about this year's super booth already, or is it too early?
Feels
Exact-
crazier.
Yeah.
Crazier. It's the word.
it's good to be back.
Yeah.
in this
Definitely, it is.
without any real worries about.
Yeah, it's the first really open one and free
Yeah.
one. So
Yeah.
even though the last one was fine, even the pandemic one was okay,
But it felt
but
different.
then this
Yeah.
is like normal.
Yeah. back to normal.
Really nice, yeah.
Back
Yeah.
to
Warm leatherette. Yeah. Okay. Let's
wrap this up.
thank
Yeah.
you for listening and watching.
Thank you.
And turn back on the next
Video.
videos to come from Superbooth and everything
Okay.
in all languages except yours.
Bye bye, everybody. Ciao.
Some CV voltage, please.
Ja, Steuerspannung.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Cool. Very nice. Thank you very much.